Let's try this one more time. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Upper Peninsula Beautiful. So we made it back from the beach. This is the next day. I made it home in time to get the kids and even get a little bit of housework done. I was pretty disappointed I couldn't make it all the way to the Two-Hearted River, but in reality, I just didn't have enough time to make it there and to hunt as far as I would have wanted to hunt and come back and get back in time for the kids. So that's one of the reasons that I didn't make it, that I turned around. The road was bad, and that had some stress in that area, but then also I knew I wouldn't have as much time as I really would have wanted, so I chose to go to Vermilion, and it certainly paid off as far as the rocks that I found. Agates, few and far between. I did find a total of 3, but the rocks are amazing that I found. That is the brick that you saw me find. It's about the same size as the one that I found on the last trip. So it's been rolling around in the lake just as long as the last one. Pretty cool that it's pretty intact. There's a super big piece of pottery that I found. I don't normally pick up the pottery, but that one is pretty big. Pretty cool. This is the fossil that I picked up. I actually had a comment from one of you guys that you'd like to see more of the rocks that I pick up on the beach before I put them in my pocket, even if they're not agates. So I'm going to start to do that in my next videos. Got a beautiful piece of sandstone, lots of different colors and stripes, and then this guy with lots of little purple spots on it. I've never found one like either of those two. That guy that's rolling right there, I thought it was granite out on the beach, but as I look closer, it's got a lot of like little crystals in it. Pretty cool. Some of the crystals look like amethyst or smoky quartz, and then this is the one that you saw me pick up in the beginning of the video, and I put that in my pocket. That's a really pretty piece of granite. And then a smaller piece of granite. Over here I've got some porphyry rocks, some of the nicer ones that I saw. I saw a ton of it on the beach, but these ones are cooler. These two here, and here, Rob at Michigan Rocks talks about these as the greenish black material being softer than the crystal parts, and so it wears away faster, and that makes sense. That was my nicest piece of magnetite that I found, the best example of that. It's also pretty good size. And then you did see me find this little Omar Luck. I oiled up the Omar Lucks. I oiled up all of these. Those were the 2 pieces of unakite that I found. I mentioned that I found some bigger ones, although they don't have a lot of red, and they're also not super green. So I don't know if they're unakite or epidote or something else. But this guy is an epidote, or a unakite I should say, and it's the prettiest one I've ever found. It's heart-shaped, has super cool colors in it. Very happy to find that one. And then that little guy. On my tray here, let's see if I can do this. Got the piece of nice banded iron formation. There was that kind of teal, unusual rock that I found in the video that I picked up. Really pretty piece of purple quartz or something. More porphyry, more unakite, more banded iron formation. This was that quartz that I found. In the video I said it was clear. What I meant to say is it's just perfectly white. It doesn't have all the yellow staining. It's not clear, but it is solid white. This, I'm thinking, is a piece of banded jasper. It's got the colors of jasper. It's super pretty. That's one of the nicest pieces of banded jasper that I found. Just a lot of really cool rocks on this trip. I will show you the agates that I found really quick. Okay, this is the one that I found in the creek, and it's by far the gemmiest of all of them. It's got super pretty bands, super pretty red, super fine lace agate. Not big, but I certainly was happy to find it. It's not coming in very clear. There it is. That was definitely the first agate that I found all the way down the beach. So super excited to find that in the river. And then the other 2 that I told you about. This guy right here was found not too long after I turned around and started heading west. It was down in the water where the waves were crashing. Boy, it's so hard to get focuses on these agates. Maybe if I go to it with my phone. Anyway, it's a sea maggot. Kind of pretty. It's a good size. It's got to be over an ounce. And then the other one that I found that I forgot that I found, and I will go to it, is this guy. It's kind of a paint. It's got some brown host rock, or at least I thought it was host rock. I'm thinking it's agate. And then it does have some banding in it. This one might be nice to have cut. Those bands in there are really pretty. So there were 3 agates that I found on that trip. And then there again is that gorgeous piece of beach glass. That's one of the prettiest pieces of beach glass I've found in years. We don't find a lot of that on our beaches. I just wanted to say that as much as I wanted to get to Two-Hearted River, and that was my plan in the morning, I got all excited to do it. There's a parable in the Bible that I thought about. It's about this guy saying, I think I'm going to move to this town. I'm going to buy and sell and trade for about a year. I'm going to save some money. That's what the guy's saying in the parable. But then Jesus says, well, what you really need to do is say, if it be your will, this is what I will do. So this morning, or yesterday morning, when I was on my way to Two-Hearted, I hadn't really put much prayer into it. I just thought in my mind, this is where I'm going. I'm going to make a video there. I'm going to find a lot of agates. And maybe it was God's way of saying that I need to include him more and ask or say, if it be your will. Next time I try to go to Two-Hearted River, I will pray about it, and I will say to you guys, I'm going to go there if it be God's will. But he ended up having me go to Vermilion, and it was a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in to Upper Peninsula Beautiful. Thank you for coming along on that long beach hike. It was a lot of fun. It was super beautiful, and I found a lot of cool things. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Upper Peninsula Beautiful. I forgot to show you the beaver stick that I collected and the purpose that I kind of have in mind for it. It's over here. So the one on the left is the one that I found yesterday, and the one on the right is one that I actually found 7 years ago. It's the prettiest beaver stick I've ever found. It's a birch piece. It's got the nice chewed on ends. It still has some birch bark on the top. It's got what they call spalted marks into it. That's just the marks of the wood. I think that's what it's called. But when I found this one 7 years ago, I thought that it'd be neat to find another one similar to it and make it into a cross. So let's see. If I cut it just right, I could make a cross. It's kind of hard to get on video. But that was the plan that I had for this piece 7 years ago when I found it. And finding this one next to it on the left yesterday, that's the best one I've ever found to possibly be the other part of the cross to that piece of beach driftwood beaver stick. So that was the plan that I was thinking about doing with it, and I might try it out. The one on the left is a little bit thicker than the one on the right. The one on the right is taller, but it might work. And then over here, I wanted to show you this. This was a piece of shipwreck wood that my dad and I found on the beach years and years and years ago on one of our family trips in the 80s. And shortly after we found the piece of wood, we found this piece of steel, also, we think from a shipwreck. We found that a couple years later, and both of these pieces were at my dad's house being displayed up until close before he passed away. It was right before he passed away that I had the idea of actually combining the two and putting them together just to kind of make a unique piece. So this is the last thing my dad and I built. I better turn off the video for now because we have some fire trucks going by. It's not always easy to make a video out in the backyard because of all the sounds. But again, thank you for tuning in to Upper Peninsula Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video.